What's up, everybody? We're just wrapping up here, Lake Fork, Bassmaster Toyota Texas Fest. Unfortunately, leaving a little bit quicker than I'd like to be here this weekend. Finished 37th, missed the 35 cut by like 6 ounces, I think. I had 20 pounds on an ounce the first day, only had 11 pounds on the second day. But I want to set the tournament up for you a little bit, how it went, how I thought it was going to go, and let's talk about how I caught what I caught and what happened. Coming into this tournament, I knew May on Lake Fork there was a chance it was going to be an offshore deal. These fish have been spawning here for probably over a month. I knew some fish were going to be on points, chasing shad spawn, that kind of thing. So I got out there right at the crack of dawn every morning looking for that shad spawn deal, and found it a little bit, found a couple places you know, where I could catch a few that way. And on those fish, I caught those on a 1/2 ounce bladed jig. That's just the jackhammer that everybody throws, you know, no secret there. It's just a shad color. I'm not real sure what they call that color, but it's white, got some gray in the skirt, looks just like a shad, silver blade, 1/2 ounce, 17 pound Vicious Pro Elite fluorocarbon, a 7 3-to-1 reel, and the MHX NEPS 86 MHF 7.2 medium heavy. Just a good all-purpose rod. You know, a lot of guys like a glass rod on a chatterbait style bait. I don't. I like that. I like the feel of the graphite. You know, I can tell when the fish has got it. Everybody says, you know, I like a glass rod because it lets them take the bait better. But you know, maybe one day I'll switch to a glass rod. I don't know. But right now this one's working pretty darn good, so I'm gonna stick with that one for now. Another pattern I got on, I looked around for that deep stuff out deep. You know, I spent a lot of time looking at my Lowrances in practice, graphing around, and I just never could get on them. I found some huge schools of white bass, but never any largemouth. You know, and I knew they probably wouldn't be real big schools, and they were going to be in little tucked away places. So I kind of scratched all that, went to the bank, and started doing what I know how to do. And I found some big fish actually up Garden Fry. I mean, in practice, I caught an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, all those fish I felt like were Garden Fry. That's big for fry garden fish, but this is Lake Fork and this is Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So caught those fish on a frog. You guys can see they have chewed the fire out of that frog. I mean, chewed the paint off of it. I actually had to take some Sharpies and paint the frog back to the way it sort of originally was, but that's the only one I had that color, so we had to do what we had to do. But they still bit it. I thought that color kind of looked like a bluegill or something. You know, when they're Garden Fry, you want something that kind of looks invasive. So, you know, it worked. And I was just going down the bank, fishing grass. Some of them I'd see, some of them I wouldn't, you know, but that's how I caught majority of what I caught, throwing it on the MHX MB844, same one I threw at Winyah Bay, 7 foot heavy. It's just a really good, accurate, plenty of power frog rod. So throwing that on 50-pound Vicious no fade braid. If you guys have not tried the no fade braid, try it out. That's one tournament in and you can't even tell I've used that line. So awesome line, 8-to-1 reel, just so I could get it back in quick. But that was the deal this week. You know, I had the wind reel sleeves on there. I had the wind grips on my rods, of course. That was my setup. That's how I caught what I caught. I just never got fortunate on the second day and caught that big one. I had my opportunities. I might have been a little excited, might have jerked a little quick, but you know, it's all good. We'll leave this one with a decent finish. Got some good points out of the deal. Still looking good in points for the Classic, so no complaints, man. We got 1 week off and we'll be at Fort Gibson in Oklahoma, so I'll see y'all then.